Make your theory succinct so that you can present it in 1 minute. What your process, how that creates the other process of holding the space. Okay, so you've got 3 minutes to create a 1 minute. So I assume that you've nominated a speaker for your group. If you haven't, everybody point the finger now. Okay, so we're going to start and we're going to try to put together this puzzle of what it actually means to hold the space, what it actually means in practice, not this ethereal quality. Okay, so let's start with relating. What's that got to do with holding the space?
Well, we said that we had a few things here. We said that it builds the trust and confidence to hold the space, and it's also the glue, which is a bit, I know, ephemeral, but
bottom line is we've got the most important.
No. I think every group will have that.
That would be a thing that probably happened.
Great. So we've got, in summary, we've got the relationship as glue. Questioning. Show and tell.
Show and tell.
Please don't.
Can you not stand up on the line?
Well, we thought, contrary to Mike's group over here, we thought that listening was foundational, and of course it does, of course, lead into all the others, but it's foundational because, first of all, the question sets an open and a curious question, creates the space that triggers in the client the issues from their background, their unconscious, which they want to address and need to address.
Okay, so I summarised that as questioning creates the space. Is that okay? Would you agree with that
It's the
summary?
trigger. We like the word trigger.
Trigger. Great, I like the word trigger. Triggers the space. Is that what you mean?
Yep.
Okay.
We actually agree with you. We agree that reflection has to be preceded by a question, so questioning starts to create the space. And we've said reflection opens the space as wide as possible to enable the client to go deeper, and is assisted by tools and questions to help develop the skill of reflection.
listening, we've got gives you permission to think, opens up the thought process, making connections to your thoughts, and then the absence of judgment, self-awareness and clarification of issues.
Let's just have a look at the theory that we've put together. We've said then that the relationship is the glue. So for the relationship people, could we say that the relationship is the glue for the space?
Yes.
Okay. So let's keep this space word in here. And questioning triggers the space. Reflection expands the space as wide as possible. Let's get a space in the listening. So who can help the listening group? Let's try to get this word space in listening. So listening is the ability to think.
Creates a space for thinking.
It navigates the space.
Oh,
What was that?
So I've got a question for you all. When we say something is safe, usually we're referring to we're safe from. So if the space is safe, what are the clients actually safe from? Yeah, judgment. such a big, big part. When we're brought up, we're taught to be nice. And we get so good at being nice and avoiding judgment, basically, that we're really, really good at it when we're adults. And these are the clients that we're coaching. And they're very good at avoiding judgment, so that they're always nice, because we're supposed to be nice.
Attached to failure, judgment. I don't want to be judged because I'm failing.
Yes, approval, yeah. Failure and approval, yeah, definitely. So, the theory you guys have come up with is very similar to the one I also came up with. And so you've gone through the process there of examining little bits of data, pulling them all together, and then theorising based on that data. So it hasn't come off the top of your head. It's been grounded in those little pieces of paper that you had and that everybody there in your group shared. You also had the validation of all the members of your group actually going, yeah, that's right, or can you explain a little bit more, or no, I don't, I disagree. So, and that is the scientific process, that's the research process of actually taking bits of data, making meaning from them, coming up with hypotheses, and then testing it against other pieces of data, which is what you did today. And then once you've got your hypotheses, you can take that out, gather more data, and get more validation for your theory. So if we were very diligent scientist practitioners, we would now take our theory and we would go out there and test it. And we would find some way of testing whether the relationship really is the glue to the space. Testing whether questioning really does trigger the space. Testing if reflection really does expand the space. And testing, we need to do a little bit more work on listening, what it actually is. Testing whether it navigates the space, whether it sustains the space, whether it gives the client's ability, the permission to think, to space out. So today you've engaged in the process of research, and this is where our industry is headed if we are to become a profession, if we want to become a profession. And as you go through your practice, your day-to-day practice, you can engage in a process like this because you've continually got data all around you, clients are bringing it to you, you're working with it, you're thinking with it, and just going to that extra depth and thinking about it a little bit more. I was really inspired by a lot of the comments coming around, that were coming out of people's mouths, and I thought, I wish I could put that in that paper. It's just a really inspiring process. And so I'd like to really encourage you to engage in that process. One of the things that we recently started with Reciprocoach is a supervision group, and we have that first supervision group this week. And that is another space for coaches to engage in a conversation like this on a regular basis, where you actually talk about what it is you're actually doing. You actually question others about what you're doing and question them about what they're doing. And so you're kind of supervising each other, although it's a collaborative supervision, because in our group there was a very new coach to a very, very experienced coach. And we were all in there together, and pulling it all together really benefited us all because we saw all the different